We're recording.
We're recording. We're gonna. This is going to be the world's fastest recording because we had tech issues leading up to this, and we don't want
And it
anything to
was
start up again.
literally the most bizarre tech issue. So, one, two, three, cue music.
Oddities. Stay strange. And we're back. Welcome back to Oddities, everybody. I'm Cassie.
I'm Kelly.
And welcome back to Strange Town. As per usual, all of our social media information is in the description. Follow along for a 100% good time, guaranteed. We also have a merch shop. Shop our shit. Thanks. We run specials and sales regularly. And bonus, we have a Patreon. If you'd like to support our show, you get access to a bonus episode every week, and they are chaotic and goofy and very much a good time. And when you start to donate, you get access to all previous bonus episodes. Plus, depending on the tier that you join, you get special welcome gifts.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Fun. That was the fastest I've ever done that. How's my bestie?
I'm good. This week sucked.
This week did suck. Happy almost birthday, though. When we're recording this, it's one day before Kelly's birthday. When it comes out, it's long after Kelly's birthday. But here we are.
Once it comes out, I am officially 30, flirty, and thriving, and I'm excited about it.
Yes. I love that for you. So yeah, this was a garbage week.
Yeah, dumpster fire of a week, but you know, what else is new? Retrograde.
Retrograde. We had us an eclipse.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the week.
Yeah.
Along with a green circle, but that's neither here nor there. If you want to hear about the green circle, go to our Patreon.
Although, do we want to give her a shout out just in case?
You know what? Might as well. Billie Eilish, if you're listening to this, we love you.
Thanks for making us a close friend on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. I hope you're listening. If you are listening, would love, not to pressure you, but would love a solid donation to the show. But your call, girl.
Or just a shout out.
Or a shout out. Literally just mention us maybe once, and I think we'd be set for life.
Yeah, you had our minds friggin' blown this week.
So if that's happening and that was meant to happen, thanks. Or shout out to Billy's social media manager who might like us too.
Yeah, that too. Regardless, you made our Monday, and in the middle of our minds melting, I sent Cassie a picture of Mike Wazowski and was like, hey, your husband's at Disney.
Yep, and there he was. Do we have a favorite Cassie text of the week?
It was probably that text chain.
That whole conversation.
Because here's the thing. I had messaged you with the assumption that you understood social media.
Which is a fair assumption because that's what I do for a living.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, is that what that means? And I was like, mother, son of a...
Literally had no idea. So this is just feeding into my imposter syndrome, honestly.
It's like, Cassie, you're supposed to know this one thing. I have no idea. And then...
And behold, it is what it meant.
My phone literally just... I was in line for Monsters, Inc. I didn't have any connection, so then I couldn't actually see or do anything or figure it out. And then I figured it out, and I was sending Cassie screenshots of it. It was chaotic.
I loved it.
So much chaos.
Was precisely our friendship energy. So...
Yeah, it was us in text form perfectly.
It was.
Yeah, The other one has some words in it that I can't say because I don't want it stolen from you. But it involved you loving the support from me and Michael. So it was the next day, and it had to do with food.
I'm blanking on this conversation.
We had the Mickey Macaroons.
Oh, that's right. My trademarked name.
Yeah. But, we're just not going to actually talk about it because your marketing skills are phenomenal. But
thank you. If you're listening, Disney, you could hire me as long as I get to work remote and you pay me a handsome sum and I'll tell you what I've thought up. It's great.
Yep. She'll make you millions upon millions.
She will.
Actually, trillions. Just throwing that out there.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Aim for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
Yep.
Don't just aim for them. fling yourself towards them, you know?
In the finest way possible. Anyways, how's my bestie?
Your bestie's okay. Absolute shit week. Absolute garbage. But it's the weekend, so
I feel like the only thing holding us together is this at this
I
point.
think I think you're right. That and also I'm going to Michael's today.
She's a crafty bitch.
She's a crafty bitch. It's time to pick up scrapbook supplies. It's time to make the 2023 scrapbook. Yes, it's April. Yes, it's taken this long, but it's time to work on it.
I think it's
And
coming at a good time, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
it is. And we've just finished our guest bathroom for now. For now. For now. It
Yep.
looks adorable.
She is a decorating queen.
She is. If you want to find me, I'll be hanging out in my guest bathroom.
Fair. Along with
So
probably the handsome man, because if I remember correctly, he
he
really enjoys that sink.
he loves the sink, he loves the bathtub, and now he loves the new bath mat in there.
Oh, there you go.
He's a happy boy, handsome man. He's devastatingly handsome boy. So yeah, I mean that's kind of. Oh, the other highlight of my week is that I have now, I think, nailed sourdough bread, homemade.
Up next, focaccia.
Up next, focaccia. I'm gonna make a second loaf of sour bread, and if I've nailed it again, then we're ready. We're ready to move on to focaccia,
Oh.
flavored as garlic as rosemary focaccia. Also, maybe attempting to make sourdough pretzel bites.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. Our sourdough starter is an active bitch. I came downstairs one morning and she had exploded all over the countertop.
She's thriving.
Overfed. That was my bad. So that's on me.
It happens to
But
the best of us.
these things happen. The other thing, I'm trying to cling to the small little things this week that are giving me any sense of joy at all. And the other is that it's been raining the entire week. So I haven't had to water our garden once
Oh,
because
love
Mother
that.
Nature is taking care of it. So
Thank you, Mother Nature.
thanks, Mom. Nature, Mom. I have to admit, everybody, this is our third recording now at this point. We've done 2 bonus episodes up to this point, so
Yep.
we're like, the amount of times that we've talked about what's going on in our lives, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it to 13 minutes this week, and I
Nope.
don't think we're going to make it to 10.
Nope.
It's just a juicy little tidbit this time around. So, a little snack, if you will. Um, mine, mine topic. I was just about to be so German. Mine topics this week is it needs itself a little disclaimer. It's heavy.
Mine is short and heavy, I would say.
So we're heavy and heavy. Oh,
Disclaimer, it's a heavy week. Sorry.
this is a
Shit
gruesome
happens.
heavy. Sorry, and best of luck. Stay strange. Now feel free to skip it if you're uncomfortable. But ye be warned.
Yep.
So, would you like to start short and heavy or longer
I'll
and heavy?
I'll end because it is very short.
Okay.
It's just so interesting, and I stumbled across it by accident. So why don't you just take the show?
I will. And actually, I don't think I have to credit a listener with this topic. I'm pretty sure this is one that I found. Because normally
Credit
I
goes to
put the list.
Cassie. Snaps for
Yeah, normally
Cassie.
snaps. Yes. Um, normally I put the listener's name at the top of my notes for myself, so I give credit, and I don't have anybody here. So either I fucked up royally, or I came up with this one, and I'm pretty sure I came up with this one. Bear with me. I did this research like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but this is the Greyhound bus Canadian Cannibal.
Oh my gosh, we're both in Canada too.
A. We're both in
Hey.
Canada. What's that about? Oh my god. Okay, well, hi Canada. Are you guys okay? You're kind of up there with Japan today, I think.
Yep.
All right, Canada. So here we are. It's July 2008. So actually, you know what? I was going to say it was like just a handful of years ago, but actually, it's almost 20 years ago at this
Ugh.
point. I'm so
Are you
upset.
okay?
I'm not okay. All right, that crisis aside, it's July 2008, and two passengers fatefully boarded the same Greyhound bus in Canada at the same time. One was Timothy McLean, a 22-year-old traveling home to Winnipeg. The other was Vince Lee, a 40-year-old schizophrenic with severe delusions who had McLean in his crosshairs. So who do we think is maybe the troublemaker in this situation? Okay, so anyway, the night of July 30th, 2008, they're riding the bus. All of a sudden, Lee starts to stab McLean, who was sleeping, in an entirely
We're
unprovoked
jumping
attack.
right into it.
We're jumping right in. Not only did Lee stab McLean nearly 60 times, he also, on this bus, dismembered and cannibalized him, while horrified and helpless fellow passengers had no option but to watch this fiasco. Here's the real kicker in all this. It took 5 hours before the police could stop the killer aboard the bus. This was Greyhound Canada Bus 1170, in case anybody's wondering. And so here's the full story of this nightmare, shall we? So July 30th, Tim McLean, a carnival worker, boards the Greyhound Canada Bus in Edmonton. He is a mere baby. Oh, my Audacity's possessed again. We had our sound drop. I'll just do the thing that I do when that happens now. Anyway, he's traveling home to Winnipeg where his pregnant girlfriend was waiting. And he boards the bus and he's like, I'm going to sit in back. I'm going to listen to some music and just, cruise on home to Winnipeg. At around 6 o'clock, Vincent Wagwong Lee, also known as Vince Lee, boards the bus in Erickson, Manitoba. I'm sorry, they didn't get on at the same stop. That's my bad. It is reported that as he boarded the bus, Lee struck his fellow passengers as agitated, kind of like confused and like just not totally with it, but that he settled quietly into a seat near the front of the bus. However, after a stop, Lee gets up and moves to the back of the bus, positioning himself next to McLean, who at that point was asleep with his head against the window. Then, shortly before 8:30 p.m., chaos happens because Lee unleashes this frenzied attack on McLean, repeatedly stabbing this dude in the neck and chest with a large knife. The driver's like, dude, what the fuck? Direct quote, not really. But he's like, dude, what gives? Pulls the bus over, and some of the passengers fled. But one, a young veteran, tries to intervene with the help of a truck driver who had also pulled over and spotted this commotion going on. Despite their efforts to help, Lee keeps them back, essentially by slashing his, knife through the air at them, whatever. So they are forced to join the other passengers on the side of the road. And the bus is locked at this point, so Lee can't escape. Horrifically, Lee then decapitates McLean and holds his severed head up to the window for the other passengers to see. Then continues, I know, right? Then continues
that's horrifying.
It's horrendous. He then continues to dismember McLean's body, and in a truly sickening display in front of the window, starts to consume his flesh. He starts to eat him. Yes. So
no! What in the zombie? No!
What in the any of this? I mean, really? I was reading this and every sentence when I was researching this shit, I was like, this is not going in the direction. I mean, when I saw Cannibal Killer, I was like, okay, he must have eaten him at some point, but this isn't what I anticipated. This is not what I figured was going down. So, cue the Mounties. Here come the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and they're alerted. They're alerted to the situation at 8:30 p.m. They soon arrive on the scene near Portage-la Prairie, which I got to be honest, I have no idea where that is in Canada, but they're still somewhere in Canada. Meanwhile, they find that Vincent Lee is still on the bus, and the other passengers are on the roadside, many of them crying, vomiting, in response to these traumatic events that have unfolded, and that it's just the train wreck that they can't stop watching. It took 5 hours for them to be able to arrest Lee. At 1:30, I believe, a.m., he attempts to escape by Lee attempts to escape by smashing a window, but then was shot twice with a taser and apprehended. Tell me, why are we tasering him? I would have gone straight for like probably bullets. I've got to be honest at
Yeah.
this point. Like
Nothing says to go
I
light on that. Like,
I feel like I mean maybe that's just me being,
no.
but like I feel I don't know. Anyway, the Toronto Star reported that the police were able to collect, I don't mean to laugh. It's just so fucked up. They were able to collect several parts of what was left of McLean's body from the bus, but that his heart and eyes were never recovered.
Oh,
So they are able to recover his ear, nose, and tongue in Lee's pockets,
oh, ew, 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 ew,
but
ew, ew.
they suspect that at some point Lee ate the like other missing parts. And the Crown prosecutor Joyce Delman says, "quote There's no other possible location for those items." So in the aftermath, Canadians everywhere are like, "What the hell, eh?" And they're like, "Can somebody please tell us what all of this is about? What caused this attack?" Vincent Lee himself provided an answer several years later in 2012, telling the BBC that he heard the voice of God speaking to him and that the voice sent him on a mission to protect people from an alien invasion. I don't know the correlation here. How does that become I need to stab this man and eat his body parts? I'm not sure. He says, quote, "The voice told me I was the third story of the Bible, that I was like the second coming of Jesus, and that I had to save people from a space alien attack." And then he added that he was, quote, "really sorry."
Absolutely not.
I, it's the, quote, "really sorry" for me. Like, oops, I'm really sorry. In preparation for his perceived mission, Lee followed the voice's instructions to travel across the country, often on foot or by bus. He would disappear from his home for days at a time, which was a fact later confirmed by his wife, who told the Toronto Star that he would often disappear, ramble, and take unexpected bus trips. And then Vince was convinced, that's a weird sentence. Vince was
Was
convinced
convinced.
that he was in constant danger from alien infiltrators and began carrying a buck knife for protection, and that was in fact the same knife used to kill McLean. On the Greyhound, because you might be wondering, how did we really get here? So on the Greyhound, the voice apparently instructed Lee to murder the man sitting beside him, or else he would be killed himself. Lee believed that McLean was actually a demon and an alien that needed to be destroyed, and went as far as mutilating his body to prevent him from coming back to life. So, what is the aftermath of all of this? Um, in March of 2009, Lee was found not criminally responsible for the murder on account of mental illness and was committed to the Selkirk Mental Health Center. For Tim McLean's family, it didn't feel like justice. His mother, Carol, says, quote, "Lee still did it. Whether he was in his right frame of mind or not, he still did the act. There was nobody else on that bus holding a knife slicing up my child." His father, Tim McLean Sr., dealt with his grief by getting a tattoo of his son's face over his heart, and then told the BBC some days are still a struggle. Quote, "Although we're trying to move forward, it's still an ongoing challenge. We don't believe we will ever fully recover." But also, how could you ever fully recover?
I don't think
Like, you can't.
it's
So
so horrific.
to honor Tim's memory, Jr., rather, Tim McLean, the victim, a white cross bearing his name has been placed along the road in Portage La Prairie, and below his name, etched into the white paint, is a heartfelt message from his father, quote, "I think of you always, son. Love, Dad." Now, here's the kicker. February 2017, February 2017, Lee is granted an absolute discharge and has since been living alone in a community within Manitoba. Uh-huh. My
Stop.
my response exactly. The Criminal Code
The
Review Board. Yep.
absolute flip my stomach. Just no,
Oh wait, it
no.
gets better.
Huh?
The Criminal Code Review Board for the province has determined that he no longer is required to attend yearly reviews or be closely monitored.
He
So
ate someone.
there's not even that. Lee eventually changes his name to Will Lee Baker and lives as essentially a free man. The news of his release rather ignites a huge controversy and outrage among those who were affected by the tragedy, especially Tim's parents. Um, she finds some solace in Tim McLean's memory and through McLean's son, who he never got to meet. His girlfriend was pregnant at the time. And she hadn't given birth. But according to CBC, his mom says that her grandson, who was born 5 months after McLean died, inherited his father's eyes and sense of humor, and she considers him to be a blessing from her late son, who motivates her to basically wake up every day and keep going and help take care of him to the best that she can. And his mom says, quote, he, meaning the grandson, is a gift from God, and I believe Tim sent him to me. And that is the Canadian Greyhound cannibal killer. When I tell you how pissed I got researching like the outcome of all of this, there is no reason. I get that, like, let's face it, the cause of a lot of this is, his mental health, his schizophrenia, the issues that he had there.
He
I can
should
see
not
why
be
they didn't
walking
put him.
free.
No, I can see why they put him in a mental facility instead of a prison, but there is not a reason under the sun that he should be walking free ever in the rest of his life, in my opinion, let alone completely and totally unmonitored. What if something happens with the dosage of medication he's probably on? What if he stops taking it? Like,
He's gonna eat again.
he's gonna, yeah, he, I can't. But he is. He ate.
I'm sorry.
I No, but honestly, how could you not? But I can't. Like, I was dumbfounded when I read that. I was like, you can't be serious. Not only that they let him go, but they let him go unmonitored with no check-ins, no
Right.
nothing.
That's
What?
unacceptable.
And tell me his wife isn't still with him. I couldn't find anything, but I'm gonna assume she was like, no, we're done here. You ate a man.
I'm sick.
Nausea, right? It is nausea, and it is so bad. I do not feel like this family got justice. I feel like the Canadian system failed them magnificently.
Horrifically.
I mean, I think about the times that I've fucked up in life, but at least I wasn't the Canadian system when I was like, hey, this guy who killed and ate somebody, we're going to let him go unmonitored.
And dismembered somebody in front of all these people. Yeah, he's fine to be in society.
Yeah, better just, I mean,
No.
like, what? What? So, anyway, this was disturbing to say the least. I I don't have words for this ending, you know?
Well, on that note,
On that happy note, friends, let's move on to Kelly's dark ass topic.
the Headless Nun.
Weird. This is like Decapitation City today.
I
What is
can't
going
I
on with us?
can't even
Does anybody get eaten in yours? Tell me the head isn't eaten or something.
well, we don't know what happens to the head.
Oh no. All right. Let's hear her.
So, during the mid 18th century,
Here we are.
there was a struggle between the Acadians and the British, and a French fort was constructed in a cove located in a place known as the French Fort Cove.
Well, you don't say. What a creative
Yes.
name. Okay.
The Acadians were transported to this location to help fend off the British. Among these was a nun known by Sister Marie.
Okay. It's just one,
She,
just a first name like Cher.
yep, she was born in France and requested of her superiors that she be sent to Canada to help them. Sister Marie was devoted to the care of the ill and despaired.
Oh,
Yeah, little, she was a
little
sweet nun.
sister.
Yeah.
Thanks, sis. Yeah, okay.
She was in care of a fund that was set to assist the needs of the families, and it was said that she buried the money to keep it safe.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
what, whatever.
We love like a hidden treasure moment.
Except one late night, while
Oop.
returning from assisting a very ill person, Sister Marie was ambushed
Oh
and
no.
by unknown people or person, demanding that she reveal the location of the buried money. Her unwillingness to cooperate with the attacks resulted in Sister Marie being beaten, which ended with her head being severed from her body.
That doesn't feel that doesn't feel necessary. None of that felt necessary.
She was a nun.
She was a nun.
There is a special place in hell for what you did to her.
That's right. That's right. I mean, really.
She's a woman of the cloth. What were you thinking?
And look what you fucking did. Not only did you rob her ass, but then you cut her head off after you beat her up. What are we
She
doing?
wasn't hiding the money in her habit.
Yeah, shame.
Shame on you. Um, and unfortunately, her head was never found.
Oh
Sister
no.
Marie's body was returned to France, but her spirit remained unable to rest until her head was buried with her body.
Ooh, spooky. I can't blame her.
Late night visitors of this area have been approached by Sister Marie's spirit asking them to help find her head. Others have said she has found her head and carries it in her arms, asking them to bury it with her body.
Question. When she approaches people and she's not that form carrying the head, is she a headless form?
Yes.
Where's the voice coming from? Oh my god, it's just telepathic.
I guess so. Or an
Out
aura
of her,
voice.
right? Yeah, like what?
Or
Is
out
it just
of.
out of Stop. We're both going to hell. With what is going on? We need to rope this shit in
This
this
is what
episode.
happens when we record 3 episodes in a row.
Oh my word. Okay. All right. So
So
anyway,
I have a lot of questions about this.
if first of all, if I was approached by a headless ghost, no, not today. I mean, I'd feel
One,
for it, but like,
I never actually found any truth to this story.
ooh, okay,
So
so we don't even
I
know.
don't know if this is a legend or a ghost story, or if this actually happened too. If this actually happened, why wasn't she put into sainthood?
Yeah, what are we doing? What is that about? Because her
Because
ass deserved it.
I think she deserved it. She protected the money to the end. She had this unwavering need to protect the ill and care for the needy,
Yeah.
and she died doing so in a horrific way.
Yeah, what are we you know what? I really sometimes, I mean, I got to be honest, I don't follow the sainting logic sometimes.
It doesn't make sense to me here. I think she
No.
deserves. I think. Sh Does she not deserve sainthood?
At least some fucking recognition, yeah? Like, come on.
So a lot of people say, and even to this day, if you go in that area, there is some spookiness and some sightings of a headless nun.
So what you're telling me is we're going into that area.
We've got to go to Canada. Except I don't know that I want to go to Canada because there is a wandering
That
cannibal.
asshole. Yeah, some asshole running around.
I don't know if I ever want to go to Canada now that I know that.
Hard pass. I
Really
mean,
hard pass. And I
like,
lost.
no, I can hear you. You're
Okay,
not moving.
the internet cut out for a second. Now you're
You're
talking.
back.
Okay, thank God.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Holy shit, that was scary.
I did find one article. I didn't see how credible it was. That it was a blog, and
Oh,
he said that when he was a kid, he went to this area and he found a cloth, and it had to at least have been over 200 years old, and it was definitely that of a nun's clothing.
how was it still like how was it not fully disintegrated?
Exactly. And he believed it was Sister Marie's.
Okay, well we can believe what we will, I guess.
Yeah. The whole blog kind of very felt pick me ish.
Okay.
It
Very
was
cool.
it was kind of like an acid trip dream reading it, if I'm gonna be honest with
Oh my god, you're gone. Are you still there?
you. I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Nope, you're gone. You're back. You're here. I
I'm
see you
here.
texting
Okay.
me. Okay.
Okay. So,
Jesus.
like I
Okay.
said, this is on the short side, but I stumbled across it because I'm doing a specific series, and I was
I
like,
do.
this is too good not to share.
You had to share this. No, this was interesting.
um,
I mean, what do you believe? Do you believe that there's truth to this at all?
I do believe. I mean, crazier things have happened, and I do believe that maybe she was ambushed and she may have lost her head. I wish that I could have found some history with it.
Right. Kelly.
Um,
Oh no.
I
Hello,
fear
future
there's going
Kelly
to be a lot
editing
of
this.
editing
This
with
is
this
gonna be.
episode.
You're back. You're
Yep.
back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
We better wrap this mother up.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of fun editing with this. Um,
Uh,
a
I'm
qu-
with you,
I
but
did
also like,
find that the story does date back to 1758.
well, that's
So,
what I was gonna say. Like, documentation is
so I do think that this could have some
leaves a
truth
little
to
bit to be
it.
desired.
So, but I do think we need
Okay.
to wrap this up because my internet's going in and out and I hear storms brewing. So,
Okay. Well, friends, before we have even more technical issues than we've already have, we're gonna
yep.
wrap this bad boy up. Sleep with the lights on. Don't go to Canada.
Stay safe, Canada. Dear Lord.
Yeah, Canada, are you all right? And until next time.
Stay strange.